Simon, I mean, he trotted out what we might have thought he would trot out. Nothing spectacularly different there. Should we have expected anything much?
Well, I always like to think that if it's lights, camera, action, it's my close-up Mr. DeMille. You get charisma coming out of the screen. And we've been lucky in the past where we've had people like Mourinho, long time ago now, told you what you were going to do, went and did it. We've seen people like Klopp that light the screen up. We've seen people like Conte that were a bag of tricks and they dominate a press conference.
I mean, it's early days, though.
This is your moment. If you needed to do a press conference on the day after the last game of the Premier League, which is probably more to do with Manchester United's share price than it's actually to do with anything meaningful about football, then you have your moment. You tell the audience that this is a new sheriff in town and whatever's gone before ain't going in the future. Right? And how that's going to look in terms of not personnel, but the culture of this football club is going to change because clearly this football club is underperforming. It's underperforming. No one can debate it. No blame attribution, no pointing fingers at other people. But that changes today.
Yeah.
That's what's changing today. Here I am. I have no risk. Well, maybe you don't have any risk because if you're getting 6, 7, 8, 9 million pound a year and you don't get successful at Man United, you'll have a litany of reasons and you'll go back to Dutch football. So we're talking about somebody coming in to change the direction. And, it's difficult to assess, isn't it? The first thing I did when I bought Palace was walk through the door, read a post from somebody saying Jordan's here now, thank God for that. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll hammer him if he makes a mistake. So it's like a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guy goes on screen, bang, you started to hammer him.
Yeah.
Look, I want to see leaders lead. Very difficult at a press conference like this, but he's going to build his own way, it would seem.
Yep.
And I hope that he's got definite views and gets a hold of a few of those Herberts that are inside that club that shouldn't be there in the first place and root and branches it. Starts getting rid of players that are wasting this club's time and money, letting their fans down, and build a football club full of players that actually understand what playing for Man United involves.
I mean, he's as good as said that. He's going to construct a staff, he'll construct a squad, he'll bring his own dynamic to the job, and for him, there is no risk attached. I mean, being Dutch is quite understated, although Louis van Gaal bucked that trend for sure. But I mean, he wasn't going to come in and give it the big I am. We knew that.
No, he seems like quite a humble guy. I mean, the actions speak louder than words sometimes, don't they? I know a manager is judged on the way he articulates himself and the charisma he shows at times, but I hope his actions are better than his words. That wasn't particularly impressive. I don't think he
didn't grab your attention.
He didn't grab my attention, have me hanging on his every word.
What did you want him to say, though?
Well, a little bit what Simon was talking about. A little
screen,
bit.
don't you?
You don't have to blame people. You have to say, look, this is going to
change.
Good enough. Yeah. I'm going to change it, and this is what's going to happen. Jurgen Klopp said in his first statement that one of his first press conferences is going to win the league in a certain amount of time.
Did you find yourself listening to that press conference wanting to hear more?
Well, I was ended up talking to you two more and I was listening to that.
I could be bothered talking to you, though. No, I agree, but to be honest, I didn't expect much more, Simon, than what we heard.
Well, let's be honest.
I was told that he's not someone who's going to come in a flamboyant way, say, I am the special one. He's not going to be like that.
Well, his deeds will ultimately either supersede his words,
yes.
but the tool that managers have got, same way politicians have got, is their words. Their words influence their players, their words influence their coaches, their words influence their owners, their words influence the media, their words influence the fans. Right? So part of the toolkit that a manager's got to have is an ability to communicate with people in a fashion that brings people's attention.
Yeah.
You bring the attention of the media, you get their attention. If you can get the attention of the media, then you translate that into getting the attention of the players. It's all about getting people's attention. Football, I don't mean creating something that draws attention upon yourself. I mean having somebody's attention. The players understand what they have to do playing for this man. The media understand what this man's intentions are.
Danny,
give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
From a player's point of view, will the United players make a point of listening to that live?
Probably not.
I would. Personally, I would. And I know other players that would, but there'll be a lot who won't. Do you know what? It's I don't know if you've ever sat in these meetings, Sam, when you've employed a new manager, but one thing as a group of players that's always kind of talked about, sometimes seriously and sometimes in a more jovial way, is the first meeting.
Yeah.
When a manager walks in the door
yeah,
and he has you all in. So you'll have 25, 30 players, maybe depending on the club, and his first meeting.
It's a key meeting, by the way.
It's a massive, massive meeting. Now, don't get me wrong.
Between manager and players.
Because they're waiting. The players are waiting. They're waiting for that crack. They're waiting for the manager to walk through the door, all his reputation, everything. The moment he opens his mouth, if the players can find a chink in the first thing he says, boom, it starts to unravel from the first day.
I'll give you a couple of examples. When Houllier came in, he captivated the room amazingly well. He had you walking out the room thinking about the way you conduct yourself, the way you live your life. All brilliant, very articulate, very well thought out. Martin Jol came in at Fulham, and although it was quite funny at times, one of the he ended up somehow getting himself talking about how much money he had and using it as a comparison Using an anecdote regarding the amount of money he had and trying to say that he didn't care about how much money he had because he wants success and he wants this. And he was trying to do it in the right way, but ended up making himself look a bit silly.
Right.
And the lads walking out of the meeting going, what the hell was he going on about? So,
when the irony of it is, it's these Herberts that need to be impressing the manager and not necessarily the other way around.
Yeah,
there's the
but
irony.
No, I'm
of it
just from a player's point of view, though. There will be that first day he walks in, and and you start off on a really positive note if you captivate the audience. Now, look, as I said, give him the benefit of the doubt. He's only been here 5 minutes. He is going to have to be a little bit of I think he's going to have to be a tyrant to a degree initially, because there's too many players at Manchester United who think they walk on water.
No, I think he's going to have to share. Was it Christian Gross who walked into Tottenham and brought a
train ticket with Alan Sugar, looking at him going, what the hell's going on here?
I came here by tube today.
But I don't think he needs to be a tyrant. I think he needs to be clear in his message and people understand that we're going one way and you can come with me or you can get lost. It's as simple as that. It's not a debate. It's not a democracy. It's an autocracy. I'm the manager. This is the way we're going to play. This is how we're going to do things. You're going to fall in line or you're going to go, and that's the end of the discussion.
Is it right to bring McLaren in?
I have mixed opinions on that. I'm not a great admirer of McLaren's. Over the last 5 or 6 years, I think everything he touches, from making a comment about how England are playing to the team scoring straight afterwards in the Iceland game, to the manner in which he's involved himself in a variety of different other football clubs that have never benefited from his association, I have mixed messages. I have certain players that say to me, he's a plagiarist. He nicks everyone else's idea, doesn't have an idea of his own. Now, Danny will tell you something different, won't you?
Well, I worked with him at England, and I have to say, I've worked with some terrific coaches. He was up there with the best of them. He was absolutely brilliant coach. Talk about putting on good sessions, giving you the right information, preparing you. Superb. Absolutely superb. Now,
he's picked him, and so it's on him. If he thinks he's good enough, then he's good enough.
So let me give you the full. But I also worked with some players who had him as a manager and didn't like some of the aspects. But he's not in there as a manager. That's Ten Hag's job. But as a coach, there's not many better. Now, I'm talking quite a long time ago at England, of course, but I'm telling you now, the majority of the lads, and even the lads at United who worked with him, with Fergie, they'll tell you the same about his coach.
What do you think the bare minimum, Simon, is that Ten Hag has got to achieve in his first season with United? Top four. But anything else, he's got to get them in.
Nothing else. There's nothing else in that division. There's no reason why United can't straighten up and fly right. There's no reason. They've got the economic support to be able to do it. They've got a new manager coming in. They've got
13 points off that.
Put that to one side. What you've seen at the back end of the season has been nothing short of scandalous. Those players have been preposterous. Bruno Fernandes yesterday, I know I single him out because it gets right up my nose. He's got a new contract on the back of what he's achieved. Of course, in this current Man United team, he looks all right. In previous Man United team, he wouldn't get a whiff of being anywhere near it. And you look at the ball he knocks back for Palace's goal. Did the same thing, exact same ball against Watford when he's standing behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
So are they in a false position at the moment?
No, they're not in a false position because they're in a position they deserve to be in. But from the talent pool and the economic resource that they've got there, and the leadership, Ranieri has been a fundamental and absolute disappointment. Even to the ridiculous idea. Me and Ian Wright agree on very few things, but he was talking about the ridiculous notion that he hadn't even spoken to Ten Hag and he's in the stands and didn't even know he was there. I mean, that's how ridiculous this club is making itself look. The bottom line is that there are some real opportunities here. I'm just getting text here by someone saying that Frank Arneson thinks he's really very good. And Frank Arneson's a very good judge of character. And he's a very good director of football.
Do you think Ten Hag's good?
Yeah, he does. Thinks he's a real deal. But the bottom line is I look at this and think he can change this and he can change it quick. Can he rival Liverpool and Man City? Nah. Can he perhaps get up with Chelsea? Depends what Chelsea do. Depends if Chelsea can spend freely.
Yeah.
But I think United, if they don't finish fourth next year, then they've got some questions to answer again of a new coach.
Yeah, you would think so. You would have to think so. Incidentally, that was me that sent you that text. Going up to 12:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.